And we're live. Hello, everyone. It's Donnie. It's Wednesday afternoon. It's 2:30 p.m. Swedish, and we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also actually on Clubhouse now. I hope to be joined by a number of you today. Just checking here. Yes, I'm live right now. Fantastic. And today we are talking about awesome female entrepreneurs and innovators. Since this is, well, I've decided that this is International Women's Week, not just International Women's Day, which was Monday, of course. This is, in my book, International Women's Week. So every day this week, I am posting one awesome, incredible, inspiring female innovator and or entrepreneur in my LinkedIn feed every day. And commenting on that as well. So check out my LinkedIn profile and look at my articles, because I'm publishing an article every day about the female founder and with a story behind why they are on my list, and also a bit more background for you as well. And I think the cool thing is that everyone that I am mentioning this week on my LinkedIn and on my list is actually, it's somebody that I know, I've met and I've talked to, and that is also, and I mentioned that actually in the article I wrote today. I just published the one about today's awesome and inspiring female innovator entrepreneur. I ended it off by saying that she is also not only successful, but she is also super nice, a super nice, down-to-earth, humble, helpful person. And I think that goes for all of the names that I will be posting this week. It definitely goes for the three first ones. They are all very accessible and nice people. And I think that goes a long way to show that, you don't need to be an asshole to be successful. That's just a myth. Everybody that thinks that you have to, it's kill or be killed, or, dog eat dog, that kind of thing. It's just a load of crap. I know lots of people who are ever so successful, and are just really nice people. So, you don't need to try and, make yourself into some kind of monster just because you're trying to be successful. You don't have to walk over dead bodies to reach where you're going. You can actually be a good person and do good things and just be a nice person. I mean, the three people I've mentioned so far this week in my list is... by the way, if you're joining me now, my name is Donnie. Every Wednesday, I go live here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also on the Clubhouse today as well. Yep. With my Innovation Fika, my Innovation Coffee Break, where I have a short chat about either an idea or a subject I want to talk about and discuss with you, because this is live and you can interact with, comments and everything. So post questions and comments in the comments. And then also, I often have a guest, and then I try and pick somebody who has a cool tech or is just, a great person. And I had some really, I started this back in last summer. I think August 23rd, I started out with Allure, the startup that make 3D printed lipstick on demand, personalized cosmetics. I started with them back on August 23rd, 2020. And then I've been doing almost every Wednesday afternoon since then. So I'm actually accumulated quite a few talks, all of which are being slowly but surely uploaded and saved to YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and check out my channel there, you'll start seeing, all of the saved recordings from previous Wednesdays. And also, I've also started sending out the newsletter. Every Monday, I send out a newsletter with the previous Wednesday's talk, a comment on that, and also a content post, since I post almost every day on LinkedIn and Instagram and some other places as well. I write something about entrepreneurship and startups and innovation every day. And one of those posts are always connected to the Wednesday talk. So I include the talk from last week, a link to that. I include one content post that has to do with the talk. I then, of course, promote the coming Wednesday's talk, which is like this one today. And also, I also include my Monday greeting, because every Monday morning, as you might know, I go live I don't go live. I actually upload this crazy Monday morning greeting here on LinkedIn and YouTube and TikTok as well, I think now. Yes, TikTok as well, just to say good morning to everyone. So you have, and that's in my newsletter. So if you go to tiny.cc, I have a banner here for that one. Go to tiny.cc/Donnie sign up. You'll come to my sign up page, and you can sign up for my newsletter that you'll be getting every Monday with reminders, links, and lots of fun stuff. And actually, we're actually going to increasing the amount of Donnie in the air now. So again, Mondays is the Monday greeting on LinkedIn and YouTube. Tuesdays, you have a rest. Wednesdays, I have my Wednesday Fika, this one, the Innovation Coffee Break. Thursday mornings, I go live on Clubhouse with my dear friend Victoria Alén. And we do this crazy, in Swedish, this crazy Swedish good morning, wake up the internet thing, 8 a.m. on Thursday mornings, only half an hour, 30 minutes. Join us on Clubhouse. Crazy good morning energy, full of laughter, crazy jokes. Live again, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, and then of course every day, Monday to Friday, I post on, as I said, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and some other channels as well. Short posts, some thoughts, ideas, learnings, reflections on entrepreneurship, startups, and innovation. So join me. If nothing else, sign up for my newsletter. Super simple, and I'll, you get all about that. Anyway, back to this week's topic, which is awesome, incredible female innovators. It started out when I was doing my Monday greeting, because every Monday I try and sort of pick up one sort of theme day, which is, that day or that week. Like the week before, I hope you didn't miss it. It was World Compliment Day. So I encourage everybody to send compliments to each other, which I hope you did. Every day is a compliment day. So don't be afraid to give people compliments. It's healthy. So that was last Monday. And then of course, this week being International Women's Day on Monday, I decided, on the spur of the moment, I just decided that, well, I was going to post about somebody or a list of people that I thought were really cool and awesome. But then I realized, I can make it into International Women's Week, and I can post every day. So that's what I started doing. So I started posting every day this week, posting every day about a name, a female innovator entrepreneur that I think is inspiring, that has shown perseverance and grit, and and is a nice person as well. So I started out on Monday, this Monday the 8th. I posted, "Hello, LinkedIn user. I can't actually see your name. You're hello, Donnie. I guess. Hi, hello, LinkedIn user. I don't know who you are, but nice to see you here." On Monday, I posted about Emma Lundblad, who is a professor at KTH. It's names that I think are really inspiring. Not everybody has heard of all of them, but I chose not to write about the historical ones like Ada Lovelace and all those. I mean, they are well known anyway. But I've instead of trying to choose people that I've actually met. The first one, here we go, was Emma Lundblad, who is a professor at KTH, but she's also a visiting scholar at Stanford and the Zuckerberg Bio Hub in San Francisco. And I put her on my list because I think she has done a super cool job in one of the biggest Swedish research projects ever. It's the Human Protein Atlas. The Human Protein Atlas is one of the biggest Swedish research projects ever, which started back in 2003 with the objective to map out every single protein in the human body to enable healthcare workers, researchers, and others to access a database of human proteins to better understand how to create tailored medicines, personalized medicines, and with a grand vision of being able to, somebody comes into the ER You take a needle prick in the finger, you get a drop of blood, and through that drop of blood, you could more or less be able to say what is wrong with this person all over. That's the grand vision. Was one of the grand visions. And anyway, mapping out all of these proteins took quite some time. So there was labs in Sweden and also collaborations in labs in a lot of different countries. A big one in India as well. Humans actually doing, it's about pattern recognition. It's about trying to understand which of all of what they're seeing in all of these, nano pictures, electron microscopes are actually, the proteins, and which ones are similar or not. So they've actually spent 17 years they've spent mapping out these proteins, and they actually have now online. It's an amazing thing. It's online. It's free for the world. The Human Protein Atlas is online with all of the proteins in the human body mapped out. It's an amazing feat. And in that project, Emma, my Monday post about awesome, inspiring female innovators, she ran a project called Project Discovery, where they wanted to see if they could speed up the pattern recognition, if they could use people who, if they use gamification, to speed up that process. So she contacted one of the biggest online games in the world called EVE Online. It's a space game. You conquer space, you conquer planets, and fight huge space wars. And they have millions of players. They contacted them, and they actually set up something called Project Discovery within EVE Online. Incredible, cool. I've written more about it. Check out the article I wrote about Emma and the project on my LinkedIn feed. Really, really cool. And just in 4 weeks, the gamers that had joined Project Discovery, they'd spent 60 years worth of pattern recognition and comparing images and things, all in a gamification space environment. An incredible feat. And after running the project for, I don't know, it was about over 320,000 gamers spent time in Project Discovery and did, I think it was about 33 million classifications or something like that. An enormous feat, and an incredible feat. And one of the coolest examples of citizen science that I've heard of, and also gamification for good. Awesome, super cool. And that's why Emma is on the list. The Monday, March 8th, Emma is on the list for super inspiring, cool female innovators. Then on Tuesday, which was yesterday, I posted about a really good friend of mine, Malin Kronqvist, who is a KTH and a KTH Innovation alumni. Actually, social entrepreneurship, I guess it would be called. I don't like that name. I rather call it sustainable entrepreneurship, but social entrepreneurship. And also proves the point that, it doesn't have to be tech. Innovation doesn't have to be tech. It can be doing things in a new way that creates value for a user. I mean, that's what innovation is all about. And Malin had been spending time being frustrated over the whole setup of charities, large charities, no transparency, no way of seeing where the money goes. And we had some, big scandals as well with high executives embezzling money and things like that. So she set out to, decided to do it herself. So Malin being Malin, she just headed down to Africa, and then she spent time working as a volunteer in Tanzania to try and figure out, how could she do something better. She had to go to the source to see, and I won't go into the whole story because it's an incredible story. Part of it is in the article I wrote about Malin on my LinkedIn, the article about Malin Kronqvist of Help to Help. But anyway, when in Tanzania, she met a guy that when she asked him how he was, he just said, well, it's the happiest day of my life. And it's the saddest day of my life. And she asked him, what do you mean? Well, it's the happiest day of my life because I've got accepted to university. I'm the first person in my family, in my village, to ever be accepted into higher education. Marlene said, that's incredible. Well, why are you sad? Well, I can't afford it. All the money that I make, I send home to my family in the village, and I can't afford to go to university. Who's going to pay the bills? And I definitely can't pay for university because that's $3,000. So then Marlene decided then and there that that's a worthy course. So she had crowdfunded some money and she paid for his university education. And she just got the idea that by crowdfunding and paying for ambitious young people to actually get an academic education, be it a doctor or a nurse or a radiologist or an engineer, she can actually help change the world. Education is the key to change the world. So she came home, took up studies at KTH, knocked on our door, talked to a colleague of mine and said, hey, I have this idea of building a crowdfunding site for crowdfunding African students. It's low tech, there's no research, but hey, it's a good thing. And we went, sure, sounds like a great idea. So then we helped her with what we could. She got a great team together. And 10 years later, they have now helped over 400 students enter higher education. I think they have about 280 or 300 graduates. And go to their site, help2help.se, and just check out the success stories. Check out the stories of these young people who are so driven and so ambitious and are so really willing to make a positive impact in their own societies. It's engineers, it's nurses, it's doctors. It's an incredible thing to go to Help2Help's website, check out the stories of the people, and whilst you're there, give them a donation as well. Spend some money on crowdfunding the next wave of change makers in Africa. So Marlene was number 2, and then today I put Stina on my list. Stina Ehrensvärd, who is the founder of Yubico. Another really, really cool company, and an incredible. All of these people have these incredible stories as well, stories of grit and perseverance, and it's just an amazing thing. Stina is an industrial designer. She was married to a guy who's, by the way, a KKH alumni, an engineer, a brilliant engineer. And Stina is a brilliant industrial designer. And she got this letter from her bank saying, oh, here's your new security solution to log into your online bank. Use this software and then log in with your name and password. She felt software, password, doesn't feel that safe. And her husband, who was a computer programmer, he said with that security, I can hack into your account within 24 hours. That's useless. So then they said, well, then they were thinking, well, that might be a business idea. How would one increase security? Well, of course, they were thinking about a hardware solution. It had to be small and flat and portable. It had to work without being connected to the internet. And that was actually the first idea, the embryo to what then became the YubiKey. It looks like a USB key. They designed that. And then they decided that, it's no point in just selling this to one bank in Sweden, because that will just give, it will be one bank and nothing else. We need it for email and banks and all kinds of logins. And then, where are all the big companies? Where if you want to create a world standard, who are we going to? Well, we need to speak to Microsoft, we need to speak to Google, we need to speak to Apple, we need to speak to Amazon and Facebook. Where are they? Well, they're in Silicon Valley. They're either in Palo Alto or up north in Seattle, with Amazon's headquarters there as well, and Microsoft's headquarters. But Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, and Google, they're all in, they actually are in vicinity of Palo Alto, Mountain View and Palo Alto. Cupertino, Apple, which is just another half an hour down south. So they moved to Palo Alto, because they were determined that if it's going to be anything, it's going to be a world standard. And if it's going to be a world standard, we need to be in these big platforms. So, pack up the family, move to Palo Alto, and then Stina started going to conferences. And then, as the story goes, again, the story is on my LinkedIn in the article about Stina. As the story goes, she was at a trade show in an escalator, talking to a guy, and she gave him an information pack and a key, and told her about this thing, and then that was it. And then fast forward a couple of months, she gets a call from Google. And it turns out that this guy had a podcast called Security Now, and he was talking about this super cool security key that he had seen in this trade show. This Swedish lady had given him an information pack. Google had picked up on that. They'd ordered some online and tried them out, and then they said, we want this. So they phoned Stina and they said, hey, we need a quote for 20,000 units. Stina was sort of, okay, cool. Let me just get production started first. So anyway, and that was more or less the start of it. Of course, the road has been bumpy up and down since then, but today, 10 years later, they are a world standard in hardware security. All of the big ones are their customers. They are integrated into their solutions with Microsoft and Google as well. And I mean, they're doing great. Unicorn, multi-million-dollar company. But again, again, Stina is the nicest person ever, down-to-earth, humble person. I mean, we used to go to Silicon Valley with our startups here from KTH in our internationalization program that we still run, of course, but now we've been doing it digital the last couple of times due to the world order. But I mean, every time we came to Silicon Valley, she was, she dashed across the road from her office, spent half an hour with our startups Monday morning, saying, hi, good morning, welcome to Silicon Valley, here's my story, so cool to see you, ask me anything. It's just so cool that a person who is a high executive of a super successful multi-million-dollar company is just also the nicest person ever. And that goes for Malin and for Emma as well. So all people on my list you don't need to be an asshole to be successful. Trust me, be a nice person. That's about it. Pay it forward, help someone else. You don't, help someone else without demanding anything in return. I mean, just be nice to people. You don't have to be an asshole to do good business. That's a good ending note, I think. Thank you for joining me for this week's Innovation Fika, my coffee break. Back to work. I hope you had a nice little break there. And join me next Wednesday for another one. Next Wednesday, I have a guest again. So that will be cool. But as I said, sign up for my newsletter and you will get all of the information about the Monday morning greetings, the last week's link for the show, the coming link for the show, reminders of the Thursday crazy wake-up calls, and some content as well from my postings online. And if there's anything else, connect to me on LinkedIn, send me a message, ask me a question. My motto is, if I can, I will. So if I can help you with anything, I will try to help you with anything. I'm not saying I can. I'm not saying it's possible, but I'll give it a shot. So send me a message here on LinkedIn. Just connect, and we'll see what we can do together. Okay. With that, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon and a great rest of the week. Don't forget to check out my LinkedIn feed for the coming 2 days, Thursday, Friday, of awesome, inspiring, incredible female innovators and entrepreneurs. Take care for now, and goodbye.